am obsessed with this next video.
You love this. And actually,
I
this
really
is,
do
it
love
really
this.
is really, this is a great clip because I think it touches a topic that everybody is thinking about right now, which is what to do, Donald Trump's take at least on how to handle Muslim Americans or Muslims who are coming into our country. We brought this up with Hercules, of all people. That would be Kevin Sorbo.
Who's a famously conservative actor.
Mm-hmm. And we brought up the topic of how to handle this situation. Does Donald Trump have the right idea? Here is how we started off that conversation.
Jesus grew up in the Middle East, so he wouldn't be allowed to come over here under Donald Trump's immigration policy.
I don't think that's true. Look, I'm Norwegian. That's my heritage. If there's Norwegians going around strapping bombs on themselves and picking people up, you can check me out. I don't mind if you racial profile against me. I have nothing to hide. So why do people, if they have nothing to hide, why are they getting upset about stuff?
But isn't he saying, let's ban immigrants from those countries?
Nah, I don't think he's saying, let's check everybody out. I think it's check everybody else is a fair thing to do. So you want nothing done. Should we just open our borders some more, let them all in?
Well, I'm Australian, man, so I hope the borders are open
Who's causing the problem?
I think what's really fascinating is he kind of did break with Trump because Trump did say we need to ban at least.
Said ban.
And then Trump walked it back and said ban the extremist Muslims. So Trump backed it off, but Kevin Sorbo backed it off more and said it's just an issue when you go through TSA, say that you could profile a Muslim just because that the people who are committing these acts, a lot of them at least, tend to be Muslim. And that's what he's saying.
It's amazingly problematic in a lot of ways. Number one, what is a Muslim and how do you profile them? Like, you're starting to strike at the very tenets of what is supposed to make our country different than all the other countries. Now, if we're afraid and we're going to cower to fear and become something perverse and grotesque that we've never been before, that maybe we've always been, then so be it. But the reality is it's wrong. And I understand what Kevin Sorbo, where he's coming from, that a lot of people feel threatened, but we have to be who we are or who we want to be, especially
Ben,
now.
I hear what you're saying. It's wrong based on what we've been, but I think what some people are saying is they think that needs to change now.
Well, at the same time, though, like, all Muslims, do we have any idea how many Muslims are on Earth? There are a great deal. It's a very, very populous religion.
And by the way,
and there are a very small portion of those people who are doing these things.
Just like every other religion,
let's assume, I see the weird thing is, let's assume 99.8% of Muslims do not hold the beliefs that these extremists have, and you're talking about like 0.02%. But those are the ones that can basically ruin a country. So I think what Kevin Sorbo is saying, again, you decide whether this is right or wrong, but I think what he's saying is, okay, you got this 0.02%, but they're doing a lot of it, so what do you do to find them? And he's saying, look, the others, it becomes one of those inconveniences of life, is the way he puts it. On the other side is, hey, listen, in America, we're entitled to freedom, not just because of who we are, we get to get stopped all the time. It's, you know.
I think what Charlie was starting to get to is an interesting point, and Kevin we had to end the clip there, but Charlie brought up the point that there are other, just like you said, 99.8% are fine. You could say that of every religion. 99.8% of Christians are totally fine.
And then there's another percentage that blow up abortion clinics.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you never hear about profiling for those guys.
They are I mean, everybody is profiled to a certain point when it comes to security of entering the country.
And by the way,
everyone should.
And if you could like visually profile people who, you know, the class of people.
Wow.
No,
there you go.
Wow.
You just hit on. Go ahead, finish. But you hit on the exact. This is what makes people uncomfortable.
Okay, well, okay,
it's easier when you're brown.
Fine. Guess what? Hey, guess what? Somebody came up to me at the gym yesterday and said something to me, making an assumption I'm Jewish. And I actually joked with him. But he said, I'm sorry, you look Jewish.
You think he made an assumption? Do you think he made an assumption that you're Jewish, or do you think that you're a celebrity and he knows that you're Jewish?
Van, FYI, I've been Jewish all my life, long before I went on TV. And guess what?
People come up to you and they say, hey, you Jewish guy. They do that?
Let me tell you, all my life, people know I'm Jewish.
Okay, and do you feel like you've been negatively profiled over the course of your life because of that?
I think there have been times, yes, where
Well,
people who don't
when you
like
travel
Jews.
to certain countries.
Oh, believe me, when I've traveled to certain countries, I've been warned that you look Jewish, you got to be careful.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, it shouldn't,
I mean,
it shouldn't be happening here in America where we're guaranteed sort of freedoms. And to say that it's easier to profile Muslims or so we can do that is a really problematic statement in my opinion.